in the beginning, God. That sentence was just filled with a person, a place, a time. You are a person in a place at a time. Your essence is just in your existence. Your existence is not based on what you do. Your definition is not based on what people tell you or what the culture tells you, or what the people and the culture and your gender and the race and the definition and the projection that people give you. Your definition is out of this world. Your definition is out of this world. Your definition is based on the idea of your creator. Don't be afraid to own your space. Don't be afraid to own your gifts. Don't be afraid to own your success. Don't be afraid to own your pain. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Don't be afraid to be you. Because the version of you that the world is waiting for is the version of you that is authentic, is the version of you that has essence. Hello, my friend. Welcome and thank you for hitting play on this video. My name is Yewande, and if you're just seeing the OWL platform for the first time, the OWL platform is a YouTube channel that I set up to share about faith, growth, and lifestyle. So I would usually start with a topic for each season. In the first season, I covered about 12 principles of success. In the second season, I focused more on leadership and I talked about the process of rising and shining. In this third season, I've been sharing about my personal journey. I wanted to highlight the lesson that I have learned and shared with my friends so that others can also pick up their lesson from it. In today's video, I would like to talk about essence. What is your essence? When people ask you that question, it sounds so deep. It's a deep question to answer. Like when people ask you what is essence, or when you are asked what is your essence. No, when something is not serving its purpose, then it's useless. When something doesn't serve its function, then it's not adding value. When a thing is not serving its use, then it's not generating any satisfaction for the user. Essence is your importance, is your essential contribution to your life and to other people's life. Your essence is the vibe that you generate on others. And your essence is also the core meaning of your life, the core meaning of what life means to you. Your essence is the importance of life to you, the meaning of life to you. Life becomes meaningful when you are living a life full of essence. And a life full of essence, I will tell you, to be honest, is not accidental. It's an intentional life. It's a life that you are able to decipher based on your own personal reflection and based on your own self-understanding and self-awareness. So when you want to talk about the essence of a thing, it's the importance of that thing, it's the essential value of the thing. So for you as a person, your essence is the essential value of you to yourself first and to others. Your essence is the essential value, your essential contribution to your own life first and to others. And the reason why I want to emphasize your own self-worth is because in these days, sometimes people forget how much their life matter to them first. People kind of define themselves based on what others say about them, or based on what their financial status says about them, or based on what their job or their work or their contribution to their community says about them. But I want you to understand that your essence is beyond that. It goes beyond that. It is first of all your importance of you to yourself. Your essence is your essential value. Your essential value that you contribute to your own life. And when I think about essence, the word essence, going back in college, and when we're taking all these philosophy classes, and the professor will walk into class and would ask a question like, are you here? I want you to think of that question. Where are you now? And we will all respond, oh, we are in the auditorium, we are in the lecture room. And it would say, are you sure you are in the auditorium? Of course, I am in the auditorium. And the professor will say, how are you sure you are not dreaming that you are in the auditorium? Oh no, I'm not dreaming. I can feel my body. I can see myself. I am myself. I can touch my body. I can see my friend. And then the professor will respond, how are you sure you are not dreaming and you are not seeing your friend and you are not seeing the people that you would see, and this dream that you are living in right now, thinking you're in the lecture room, is actually a dream and you are not in the lecture room? I mean, we will go on that thinking journey. And in that thinking journey, I believe the goal of the professor is to get us to a point to think about the real essence of life. To get to a point to think about the real meaning, the true meaning of life. To think about the true meaning of why we are doing what we are doing. The essence of our life. Sometimes we think of the essence of our life based on our contribution. Even as a woman, we think of the essence of our life as being able to get married, being able to have children, being able to take care of our children, being able to take care of our husband, our spouse. We think of the essence of life as our contribution to others. As men sometimes think of their essence as being able to show their power in taking care of the family, in taking care of things and doing things for others. The true meaning of life, essence, comes from just existing, just being, to just be. Because when you be, you feel. When you be, you sense. When you be, you own your space. You know yourself. You feel yourself. You feel what is going on in the inside of you. You feel what you're sensing in your body. What the professor was trying to get us to do is to be able to search inside of us, to be able to draw out and think through life using from a different perspective. The essence of something is the essential value that thing serves. And you have to define the essence of you. I mean, I don't expect this video to be popular because not a lot of people will be talking about essence. But I want you to know that when you know the essence of life, you have true happiness. When you know the essence of life, you have an unusual peace. An unusual peace with you and with your God. When you know the essence of life, you have abundant life. You live with meaning. You live with joy, with peace. When you know the essence of life, you have meaningful contribution. Because until you know the essence of life, you don't know the value and the effect you are generating on others. Until you know the essence of life, you don't know the value or the effect that you are generating on others. And until you know the effect you are generating on others, you may not necessarily know the value you are creating for them. And until you know the value you are creating for them, you are not able to put money on those value and be able to turn it to money making business for yourself or a money making service to serve your community. Essence is very important. Is a deep satisfaction in who you are. Is a deep satisfaction in who you are. Before I go into how to know your essence or how to find your own essence, I just want to share a story. You know, I've been talking a lot about self-reflection and the things I've been working on, even in my own life, even for my own journey. I've been doing this exercise for myself and I'm sharing my lesson here. And the goal is to be able to compile it into something that people can learn from and be able to rebrand. Because when you know your value, you know what you value, and that value flows into your principle. And when you know your principle, there are principles that needs to be prioritized, and that will be based on the meaning that you have of yourself and of life in general. Because sometimes we allow people to define us. We allow people to tell us what is essential. What is your essential contribution? Those are the things, the rating that people drop on you. The ratings that college drop on you, the degree that they drop on you, the ratings of your degree from the cum laude to the 2-1s and to the first class and the second class upper, and they drop all these degree and these levels of degrees on you. People define you and they define your essence. They tell you, they tell us, oh, this is who you are. But I want you to know that when people define your essence, when people define your essential value, they will keep you small. Nobody will define you to reach the level of your worth. Nobody else will define you to reach the level of your worth. Which is why this journey of finding your own essence is very, very important. Another thing that you don't want to define your essence is your past experience. Your experience, your journey, your pain, your traumas, the things that you have gone through. Those good and bad and ugly of life. Those pains, the things that are unexpected, the things that shocked you and made you almost gave up on life and made you think of people as not worth it. When you allow those experiences to define you, they keep you to the past. They continue to remind you about who you were. But the goal of your essence is to become who you are supposed to be. Myron Golden said something. He said, the purpose of life is to know your gifts and to deploy those gifts to your best ability. That's coming from Myron Golden. You don't want to allow your experience to define you. When people define you, they will keep you small. When you allow your past experience to define you, they will hold you by hand. They will hold you to your past. In your rebranding, you want to be able to allow your becoming to define you. In that journey of finding my essence, it didn't just occur accidentally. It wasn't something that just occurred accidentally. I had almost a near-death experience. An experience that almost took my life. And I had to go through procedure. And I came out of that procedure and I had this soberness, a very deep, sober mood. You know, 1 Peter 5:8 said, be sober, be vigilant, for the devil, your adversary, walks around looking for whom to devour. That time of my life was a sober reflection for me. It was a time of sober reflection, and I sat down and I said, is this the way I would have lost my life? Is this the way I would have died? At that point, I've had my 3 kids. That was after my 3rd baby. And I said, if something had happened to me, who would take care of my kids? They would have moved on. Yes. Who would take care of my husband? Oh, life would have continued. I was doing some things at church. Who would have taken care of that? Oh, no, people would have stepped in. I realized that you are not that as important as you think you are. The way you think of your importance is not the way it actually is. You are thinking of your importance. I was thinking of my importance based on the things that I was doing for others. At that time in 2015, when I had this experience, so I think it was 2015, it reset my mind. It reset my focus. It changed my perspective to life and to things and to people and to experience. At that point, I begin to try to make my mind feel, to make my body be, to be able to own my space, to be able to own my pain, to be able to feel and experience what I am going through or what is going on in my body or what I'm sensing. And this is what I will tell you. At that point, I begin to be more sensitive to even people. It made me honor myself more and even honor others more and better. Because at that point, I realized that the way I have defined myself was based on the way people have defined me. The way my past experience and pains and traumas have defined me. I've allowed the things that I have accomplished to define me. I have allowed the things I think are important, which are not important at that last minutes of life moments. Because when people are on their deathbed, they don't ask to see their accounts or their account statements. They don't ask to see their Ferraris or their yachts. They don't ask to see their private jets or their business investments. At that point, I realized that the things that matter in life, that give me essence in life, is just for me to exist and be and feel and own my space and be myself and celebrate myself and enjoy my own company and enjoy myself and enjoy the whom I'm becoming and celebrate my strengths and acknowledge my weaknesses. At that moment, I realized I am not perfect and that is okay. I am irregular and that is acceptable. At that moment, I realized that what makes my essence is not what I do. It is just in my being. It is just in my existence. I am worthy because I exist. I am worthy because I am somebody. I am breathing. I am here. I am a being. I exist. I can feel. I can sense. That 2015 reset a lot of things for me. I mean, it reset a lot of things. It changes my perspective. That experience for me, I kind of relived it this year because at that point, I realized there are certain things that I did that was really helpful in getting me to that point. I didn't allow that pain to go to waste. I did not waste the pain that I experienced. I did not waste the shock of almost losing my life that I experienced in that 2015. I did not waste my suffering. I allowed it to be a life lesson for me. The essence of you is your importance. And until you know your importance to yourself, not about what you're doing, not about the things that you are, not about the titles or the status, not about the net worth and the account number. But when you know the essence of you to yourself, it changes a lot of things. It changes your perspective. It resets your principle. It prioritizes your value. It defines your self-worth. And you are able to create value because now you know what to focus your energy on. When I went through that journey of finding my essence, it was a journey that was bettered in soberness and calmness. I was able to find myself. I realized that the things that define me are not based on what I do. The Bible made us understand in Genesis 1:1, in the beginning, God. In the beginning, God. That was the first statement. We were introduced to this divine being who was in a space and who was not doing anything. And he was God. And he is God. And he is God the same yesterday, today, and forever. And in that beginning, he was God not because he was doing. He was God because he was God. He was God not because he was creating. He was God because he was God. He was God not because he was existing in darkness and he was existing in chaos. He was God because he was God. And he is God because he is God. He is God because he was God. Before the whole earth was formed, before the whole thing was put together, he is God. Before the whole world was framed, he is God. God is God not because of what he created. God is God not because of what he does. He is God because he exists. The essence of God is not defined by what he's doing. It is we human that define God goodness by the good things that he's doing in our life. What about the pains that he's going through in our life? Sometimes those pains are also blessing too. Because all things work together for them that love God and are called according to his purpose. So when you want to define God's goodness by only the good things that are going in your life, what about the pain? God is God. When he's good, he's God. When things are not good, he's still God. He's God regardless. He's God when he's doing things. He's God when he's not doing. In the beginning, God. He was existing. In the beginning, God. When you look at that statement, all you can see there is nouns. A place, a time, and a person. When you look at that Genesis 1:1, that part A of 1 of Genesis 1, in the beginning, God, that sentence was just filled with a person, a place, a time. You are a person in a place at a time. Your essence is just in your existence. Your existence matters. Just be. People want to define you and say, oh, this is how you should do it. This is what you should be doing. This is what your mates are doing. What about when you want to understand what your mates are doing? What about your mates that are no longer on this planet? That are no longer here? In the beginning, God, it was about an entity. An entity, a supreme entity that was existing in a space at a time doing nothing. And it was God. And it's still God. When you fast forward to the New Testament, when Jesus was about to die, in the Garden of Gethsemane, when Jesus was praying, "Not my will, let your will be done," Jesus was God. On the cross, when the pain was overwhelming and he said it is finished and he gave up the ghost, Jesus was God. And on the third day, when he resurrected with a glorious body, Jesus was God. He is God. is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. What he did on the cross was not what made him God. He was God regardless of dying on the cross. He was God regardless of resurrecting. He was God regardless of the miracle he did. He is God. Jesus is God. You are a person. Your existence is not based on what you do. Your definition is not based on what people tell you or what the culture tells you or what the people and the culture and your gender and the race and the definition and the projection that people give you. Your definition is out of this world. Your definition is out of this world. Your definition is based on the idea of your creator. Your essence is based on the idea of your creator. When you know your essence, oh my God, you are secure in yourself. You are not taking permission from people to do. Because you know either you do or you don't do, you are God. You are a God. You operate at the level of your God. You are somebody. You are somebody. You are a human. You exist. You are breathing. You are alive. You feel. You are being. You be. You sense. And this is not a call for people to just be lazy around doing nothing. This is a call to find your essence. To know that you are worth it. You are worth achieving those goals. Sometimes we let people project those limitations on us and we think of ourselves, I don't think I can do it. We let people project those weaknesses on us and we limit our own self. We limit our own self. We let people project those expectations on us and we push ourselves out of the boundary and we push ourselves to spaces that God has not called us into. And we let people define us and we keep ourselves so small. And you know in your essence is telling you, you can feel it in the inside. You can sense it from the inside that you are more than all of this. That this is not your being. You are more than all of this. And this comes from you being still. You being. You be. You exist. You feel. You sense. It's a deep search in your core, in your soul, to understand yourself, to understand your why. The video on identifying your value, I have it on the channel. Feel free to check it out because your value will flow into your principle. And in the middle of that principle, you want to know your essence. You know, before I start talking about how to create value on others, I want to make sure you understand your essence. Because when you understand your essence, you know your position. You know your place. You know your place in your life. You know your place in the life of others. You celebrate yourself. You value yourself. You carry yourself. You talk different. You carry yourself differently. After that experience, I show up different. I speak different. I pray different. I search the word of God different. I serve my gift of teaching different. I serve my gift of prophecy different. After that 2015 experience, I don't speak carelessly. When I speak, I know that God is putting that word in my mouth, and when I'm releasing it, I start seeing results following it. Because I have found my essence. When you find your essence, you know your value, you know your worth. And once you know your worth, you know the price to place on yourself in the marketplace. In that 2015 journey, it was a journey that started in 2015, and I will not say I have gotten there. It's something that I do daily, every day. When that And the doing part of me wants to pull me to doing to get the recognition, to get the award. I quickly remind myself, what is my why? What is my essence? Why am I here? What makes me find meaning in all of this? When I think about people asking me, oh, what are you doing for Mother's Day? Part of my Mother's Day celebration, I celebrate my essence. From that point forward in 2015, I started buying myself Mother's Day gifts. I would buy myself my birthday cake. I will buy myself gifts. I will treat myself. I will take myself out. Because I am somebody. I exist. I'm worth celebrating. I am somebody. I exist. I am worth celebrating. You are somebody. You are worth it. You exist. You are a being. You exist. Don't be afraid to own your space. Don't be afraid to own your gift. Don't be afraid to own your success. Don't be afraid to own your pain. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Don't be afraid to be you. Because the version of you that the world is waiting for is the version of you that is authentic, is the version of you that has essence. Thank you for joining me on the Out platform. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, feel free to hit the subscribe button and see you in the next video. Bye and stay blessed.